Yo, what up, though? Man, why is this NFL draft is giving me 2011 vibes, man? If y'all don't know, 2011 was the year we signed Donovan McNabb in free agency, and we also drafted your favorite Viking quarterback, Christian Ponder, man. I'm not saying this is going to happen again for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm just looking at everything overall and looking like, damn, we was in the exact same position when we drafted Christian Ponder, probably at the same damn number for real. We number 11 this year. In the year we took Christian Ponder, we were number 12. And we also don't have a quarterback on the roster. And the Minnesota Vikings will sign a veteran quarterback in this free agency class, man. That's crazy. I'm not saying the Minnesota Vikings will draft a Christian Ponder this year, but we got to look at the overall picture, man. The Minnesota Vikings is at number 11. Let's say the Minnesota Vikings cannot trade up to number 3 in the NFL draft. Let's say a team like the Seattle Seahawks trade up in this year NFL draft, and they will draft a quarterback, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I can see a few quarterbacks going off the board before number 11. Cause we all know the Bears need a quarterback, the Commanders need a quarterback, and I think somebody will trade up with the New England Patriots. It might be Minnesota, but it might not be because other football teams have more draft capital than the Minnesota Vikings, man. And they might want that more than what the Vikings can offer. Because the Vikings this year ain't don't have a third round pick. A team might offer the New England Patriots 2 first round pick, a third round pick, and a second next year, and they might bite it. We ain't got that. We ain't got that luxury, man. The Minnesota Vikings don't have that many draft picks in this year NFL draft class to move up like that. I know we got 2 4th round pick, but some teams got multiple second round picks, multiple third round picks, and they might use that for draft capital to move up in the NFL draft. Then I can see the Arizona Cardinals probably taking a wide receiver. Then I can see the Chargers probably trading with somebody else again. It could be the Vikings or it could not be the Vikings. But let's say Caleb Williams, Daniel Jones, and Drake May is off the board, all before number 5. Who do you draft in this quarterback class? Like Drake May is gone. He not there for the Minnesota Vikings, man. Somebody that took him or whatever the case might be. Jaden Daniels is gone. He off the board. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Because the Vikings don't move up in the NFL draft class. I can see Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, JJ all being gone before number 11, man. So that's 4 quarterbacks that is off the board before number 11 even come around. And at that point, what do you do in the NFL draft? Do you draft a Bo Nix because he's the next up quarterback, or do you trade down, or do you stay put and to draft a defensive player? I don't know. I don't know, man. Because everybody know the Minnesota Vikings need a quarterback. And NFL teams will try to stick it to the Minnesota Vikings once they try to trade up in this year NFL draft class for a quarterback, man, compared to other teams. Because we are the one of the most needier teams in NFL for a quarterback. The Seattle Seahawks, they can trade up, but they can trade them and go in either direction. They might go out and want a wide receiver, or they might want an air rusher. We don't know. But we all know the Minnesota Vikings need a quarterback. And that right there will cost the Minnesota Vikings more compared to other football teams, man. I'm just being real. I just want to know, what will we do? Will the Minnesota Vikings panic in this year NFL draft class? I got good hopes for this management team. I don't think the Minnesota Vikings will panic in this NFL draft class. I really feel like the Minnesota Vikings will trade up in this year's draft class compared to 2011 when we took Christian Ponder. I just really feel like that, man. And the Minnesota Vikings really have to trade up in this year draft class, man. Even if you trade with the Chargers, I think the Chargers is at pick number 5. We all know the Chargers is trying to trade out that pick and get more draft picks. But Well, the quarterback the Minnesota Vikings won't be on the board. I told y'all in my live stream, I'm all in on Jaden Daniels. So if I'm the Minnesota Vikings, I'm trying to trade for that number 2 spot. I ain't lying. I'm not lying or playing with y'all, man. I don't want no quarterback where if that, no, I want a quarterback I know is going to hit. And I feel like Jaden Daniels will hit in this year NFL draft class, man. They comparing the quarterback to Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, man. Jaden Daniel, I feel like, is a special quarterback in this year NFL draft class, man. He done played at Arizona State. While he was there, he beat a ranked number 16 in Oregon when Justin Herbert was the quarterback, and he beat them. And he transferred himself to LSU to play in the SEC to bet on himself that he knew he could raise up to the competition. And he did that. He won the Heisman Trophy. And he played good at LSU. I'm all in on Jaden Daniels or JJ McCarthy, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I can see Seattle Seahawks trading up to get JJ McCarthy for real because somebody on the Seattle Seahawks coaching staff came from Michigan, man. And they know JJ is that guy. And what Seattle like to do, run the football and play good defense. Exactly what JJ came from, Michigan, man. Michigan love to run the football and play good defense. So at the same time, I can see Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, all being gone before number 11. So the Minnesota Vikings have to trade up in this year NFL draft class if they want one of them quarterbacks, man. I'm all in on JJ or Jaden Daniels. Many people like Drake May. I'm not going to bad Drake May, but I haven't seen enough of Drake May on film to say Drake May is that guy. I seen a lot of good things on Drake May on film, and I also seen a lot of bad things. And the bad things I seen on Drake May, I ain't like it at all. But it probably could be fixed, man. How do you feel about the Minnesota Vikings draft this year compared to 2011, man? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell everybody about the channel, man. What quarterback do y'all want the Minnesota Vikings to draft? We all got to come in on this shit, man. Cause everybody wants some of everybody at the quarterback spot. What quarterback do you want the Minnesota Vikings to draft?